Hello folks, in this one we're going to take a look at a calendar that I made with ACF and just some good old-fashioned dynamic data in Bricks. The calendar is not this calendar, this is part of PyCalendar. If we go down here we have the list calendar and you can see we have different types of events. We have one event that is an information event for parents of kids that are going to be new to the school. And whenever it's an information event, I want to display this text. Then we have events that happen at different times. This event has a start time, but it doesn't have an end time. It just starts at 6 and then it ends when it ends, and it has a start date. Then we have an event here that starts at a certain time and ends at a certain time. Then we have events that are all-day events, and it starts at March 30th and ends on April 10th. There's no times associated with that because it's just whole days. And then we have days that are just one day and it's a whole day, like this one, for instance. There's no start time, right? So we need to build data here that displays depending on whether these fields are filled or not. And that's what we're going to look at. We go to the field groups first. In ACF, we have the fields that I made. We have the start. It's a date time picker. It has a field name, obviously, and the display format. I set it to custom. We're going to take a look at what that looks like in the back end. And then on the front end, what it looks like is actually, it doesn't matter what we put in here in ACF because we can control that with the dynamic data tags. And then the end of the event, the end time is the same, date time picker, same shit. And we have a field that is a radio button, and it's asking if this is a full day event. And it has two options, no and yes, full day. Now, if we enter a new calendar entry, go here, add new, we give it a name, and then we can put a start date here. We can select the time. Wonderful. We can put an end date. We can select the time again, and that's the idea, right? And when we say, yes, it's a whole full day event, and then we can say, yes, it's an information evening for kids, or we cannot do that. This is just the taxonomy that's assigned to this custom post type. Now here's where it gets interesting. How is this built? So we have our calendar card in here. We have this little meta box, which is just a nice styled thing. I mean, you can build that yourself. I'm not going to go through that. But we have the body, which is this part. Inside the head, we have the title of the event. And then now it becomes interesting. We have the dates. The dates are just a bunch of spans. The parent is set to flags. It has a row gap of, just 0.3 EM, so that between these, there's basically just a space. We have the start day, we have the start time, we have this little dash that connotates, until. We have the end date, we have the time that the event ends. Wait, we have the little dash, until which time, and then we have the end time, the time that the event ends. In order to display this, we're using the ACF custom, we're just using dynamic data. And the beautiful thing is you can just put a colon here, and then you can just put PHP date time parameters in here to decide what we want to, or how we want to show this. So for instance, this says Friday, that's the capital D, FRI. So it's just a 3-letter abbreviation. Then we have the 27th dot M, capital M means the month, 3-letter abbreviation, and then we have the year, capital Y means a 4-digit year. And that's how we can display this any way we want. Same thing with the start time. We just pull the same custom field in here, and we just put a colon and an H:I, and then it says 1330. Then until, it's just a dash with 2 spaces around. No, wait, no, not even spaces around it. That's the gap. And then we have the end date. Same thing, right? We're using dynamic data tag with PHP date parameters attached. If you're curious, w3schools.com has a really nice overview of all the parameters that are available for the PHP date format. So now let's go into the conditions. For the starting time, we want to display it if the event is not set to full day event. Like here, if it says full day, then we don't want to display this. So we just say dynamic data, ACF Ganztags event value. We're looking for the value of that field, and we're saying it does not contain the word Ganztags. For the little dash that says until which day, using dynamic data again, we're looking for the ACF event start, again, the start field, and we're looking for YMD. So we're telling it to just put out 2026-03-15. and we don't want it to be equal to the end date, because if it's the same day, then there should be no dash. It shouldn't say until another day. And we also want to look, and both of these need to be true, so this is an and. Dynamic data, we need to be sure that the end date is not empty, because if it's empty, meaning there is no end day, then it should be displayed. So here, for instance, we have the summer vacation, and the start day and the end day are not the same. So this is that condition. YMD is not the same as this YMD. And the end day field is not empty. You can see that right here. Both fields have information in them. So in that case, this little dash, this until dash is being displayed. But for instance, here, it's just one day. It's a full day event, first day of school, and there's no specific end date, so there's no dash, obviously. Now let's move on to the end day. The conditions for that are actually exactly the same, because we want to display the end day if it's not exactly the same as the start day, and of course, if it exists, if it's not empty. But we don't want to display the end day if it's the same. For instance, here, it's on 27th of March, it starts at 1:30 and it ends at 2. It's the same day, so we don't need to display the end day here. Until what time does the event go? First, it shouldn't be a full day event. And also, both conditions need to be true. It needs to exist. The end time and date field needs to have content in it. And if that's the case, then we get this second dash that says until what time does the event go. Again, we can see that very nicely here. This is that second dash. And finally, we have the time at which the event ends, which is really simple. We just need to check if it's a full day event, and if it's not a full day event, then we can display the end time. So this is not a full day event, so it has an end time. This is a full day event, so it doesn't have an end time, and this is a full day event spanning a longer period of time, so it doesn't have an end time as well. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, there are some events that are information events for parents that want to check out the school, and in that case, there's going to be a standard text here that's always going to display if the Infoabend checkbox is set. And then we have some events that have a description, like for instance here, summer vacation, but quite honestly, most events actually don't have a description. So in that case, we don't want to display it. So we have here the information event, we have here an event without any information, and then we have the spring break, and there's a little bit of text here. So in order to display that or hide it, as the case may be, we just use two rich text elements and we just put conditions on them. The conditions are pretty simple. If the category contains Infoabend, if it's an information event, then this text is going to display. And the other one is just if the post content is not empty, then it's going to display. And this is it, our little calendar. You can now use PyCalendar, for instance, to also display, the calendar that you saw at the beginning of the video, the calendar grid. It took me a while to figure this stuff out. Credit goes to my friend Anja Kretzer, who really helped me a lot with this. And now that it's done, I figured, hey, why not share it with you guys so you're going to have an easier time to build a nice list calendar just like this one yourself. I hope this helps, and I wish you a beautiful day. Bye.